Detective Sergeant Cody Becker, Detective Mark Baker, and Detective Isaiah Emmenheiser were the best of the best.
These three personalities were so bold, yet so different from one another.
A son taken far too soon. A man of faith who lived to serve.
You will always be remembered as a hero.
Rest easy, brothers. We have the watch.
Good evening, I'm Jerry Gish.
And I'm Tasmin Mahfouz. We have live team coverage of the funeral for the fallen officers in a moment. But first, we're tracking some storms on this alert day. You can see the rain there coming down in Lancaster County. And here's Storm Team meteorologist Ethan Houston.
Yeah, Tasmin and Jerry, we still have a robust line of thunderstorms crossing the eastern portions of the Susquehanna Valley. Here is the good news. It is showing some signs of weakening, but still packing a punch. If you're watching us from Lancaster City to Quarryville to Holtwood in Lancaster County and far southeastern portions of York County, you're still going to deal with this line as it works its way to the east during the next hour or so. All clear, though, from Gettysburg, York City, Lebanon City, and points off to the north and west. Notice here on the predictor, it shows that line exiting the Susquehanna Valley by 8 o'clock. May see an isolated shower lingering till roughly about, I'd say, 9 o'clock. But then as we go through the night tonight, weather will be quiet, but it is going to be warm and sticky with temperatures in the 60s. We will see shower chances drop, but not completely move out of that 10-day forecast for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll talk about that more coming up.
Thank you. And the News 8 Storm Team will be tracking the storms all evening on air and also online. You can get the updated forecast anytime on WJAL.com and the WJAL app.
A day of pageantry to honor 3 officers killed in the line of duty last week in York County. From the procession to the funeral to stories about their lives, we're remembering Detective Sergeant Cody Becker, Detective Isaiah Emmenheiser, and Detective Mark Baker.
They were gentle. They were kind. They confronted some of the most evil human behaviors imaginable. And not only did they face those challenges, they did so while holding fast to faith, compassion, and uncompromising honor.
Live team coverage. News 8 Susan Shapiro is leading our coverage of the procession, the funeral, and how the community is remembering the fallen officers. Susan joins us live from outside the church where the funeral was held.
More than 3,000 people came here to Living Word Community Church for that funeral service at noon today. It started a little after noon. The procession came here around 10 o'clock. So it was a long and emotional day for the hundreds of people who were here, law enforcement, family, and friends, to witness that service. In fact, they ran out of programs. They had 3 separate programs. This is the one for Detective Isaiah Emmenheiser. And we learned a lot more about Detective Emmenheiser and the other fallen officers during that service and what they meant to their friends and family and the community. News 8's Meredith Jorgensen has more on that.
Susan, the stories shared by the fellow officers this afternoon did offer that slice of life of the men lost, memories people will hold on to going forward.
Memories and stories shared by friends, pastors, even a grieving daughter. Rebecca Baker said she wanted people to know about her dad, Detective Mark Baker.
My dad has always been the designated superhero of my family, and it gives me great solace knowing now he will forever be one for my community as well.
Fellow officer Corporal Steve Lebo shared his sadness in Detective Isaiah Emmenheiser's death.
The quiet of your loss, my friend, is deafening. I will miss you dearly.
Former Chief Mark Bensel hired Detective Sergeant Cody Becker and says Becker found his calling as a police officer.
We can all use Cody Becker's life as an example of how to live.
Saint Michael the Archangel is the patron saint of police officers, and Thursday's memorial service invoked him in prayer in honor of the 3 fallen heroes.
Defend us in battle. Be our protection against wickedness and snares of the devil.
And then the final blessing.
The Lord bless them and keep them. The Lord make his face shine upon them and be gracious unto them.
Saying Alleluia, David Bray, a U.S. Navy vet. He said in honor of the fallen heroes for being that thin blue line between civility and chaos, thank you. So even amidst the sadness today, still there was gratitude for these men willing to make the ultimate sacrifice to keep us safe. It was moving. Susan?
Thank you, Meredith. And we have been watching the staff members clean up here, and they did serve a meal to all of these law enforcement officers who showed up and for families. So it's been a long day, as I said, for many people. And not everyone could come inside the church because it was for invited guests and for law enforcement. So many people watched the live stream provided by the church, and some did that at Chapel Church. And News 8's Morrissey Walsh has more about that. Morrissey.
Susan, one man I spoke to here said he felt called to volunteer to honor those fallen officers' memory.
Extremely moving. I'm not ashamed to say I had tears.
Dozens of community members came to Chapel Church to watch the services. A volunteer, Chuck Vucetich, reflected about the weight of these events on the community.
When you have our men serving the front lines, our men in blue, and they're to protect and serve, and they're the first ones in, it's like, follow me, it'll be okay.
Vucetich calling it a powerful service, thanking those who gave the ultimate sacrifice.
Thank you from the bottom of our hearts as every citizen in not only your county, but the United States. Thank you for being there for us.
And one thought that echoed here today was that everyone is grateful for those officers' service. Live in Red Lion, I'm Morrissey Walsh, WGAL News 8. Susan, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Morrissey. And the funeral service here at Living Word and outside was full of pageantry and precision. And sadly, just about everything from the flag presentation to the hearses to the gun salute was in threes. That salute after the service for Detective Sergeant Cody Becker, Detective Mark Baker, and Detective Isaiah Emmenheiser echoed outside the Living Word Church, where it was a sea of blue. There was law enforcement from across Pennsylvania and beyond. We saw them from Texas, Massachusetts, and Maryland, among many. Most of them never knew the three fallen officers, but others did have a connection. The chief of police at Millersville University says he knew Cody Becker and felt connected to him since he wrestled at Millersville.
He's a cop's cop. He's just the kind of guy that I think other cops want to be around, and the community as well. I mean, he was very, very well liked, and I know the same thing with Baker and the other detective as well.
It was surreal. I grew up in York, so I wish it could be under different circumstances, but it was nice to be back to where I grew up and seeing the support from all over the state.
That's what everyone remarked about, seeing that support and the humility involved. The three hearses left the service along with coach buses carrying family members, followed by Northern York County Regional Police cruisers, which obviously were off duty today. And that procession arrived here at the church around 10 this morning after coming from the funeral home. And it was quite a scene as people watched that procession. News 8's Sarah Metz talks about that.
Yeah, Susan, just like you said, the procession actually started here at the Wagner, Elfner, and Berg Funeral Home in Red Lion. And those wheels first hit the ground around 10 a.m. and it continued about 4 miles up the road and hitting the Living Word Community Church where services took place. Now, one by one, each fallen detective was escorted in a hearse and with their family right behind them. Then following them was the rest of the Northern York Regional Police Department. The streets were completely silent. You could truly hear a pin drop as they passed. The procession was led by officers from all over the state on motorcycles, and we also saw officers from Maryland, Virginia, and New Jersey, among many other places like Susan mentioned before. I did catch up with one man who isn't law enforcement, but he still came from Maryland to show his support in a pretty big way with an antique fire engine.
I came here like everybody else did, you know, solidarity for the officers and show support and just be here. I actually live down in Whitehall, Maryland, so it's not too bad of a ride to get up here. So when I got done with work this morning, we parked a big truck because I drive tractor trailer And so we came up here with the fire engine to come up here and, as I say, show our support.
Will, like many of others in the community today who just wanted to show their support, he says that the truck is originally from upstate New York. It was built in Elmira and retired back in 1979. And he knows just how exciting it is for first responders to see an antique like the one he has. So he just wanted to bring it out here to bring even one smile to one first responder's face during this dark time in our community. Susan, back to you.
All right, thanks, Sarah. And the fourth Northern York County Regional Police officer who was wounded in that ambush shooting came to the funeral. He insisted on coming here. He was attended by medical staff. He and the sheriff deputy from York County, who was also wounded, are listed in satisfactory condition, and that officer went back to the hospital after incredibly attending this funeral service today. The funeral service lasted about 90 minutes, and as I said, it was just a sea of blue out here in the parking lot around the building, and as far as the eye could see, there were officers all over. We saw a helicopter fly over, of course, that rifle salute, and again, that end of service call for those 3 fallen officers. So that's what's happening here. Back to you.
Susan, thank you. Yeah, every aspect of today was so moving. One part that really stayed with me was the pastor, Aaron Anderson, who said during the beginning of his speech that we owe a debt of gratitude to these fallen heroes, to these public servants. And there really isn't words, there aren't words to express, because there's so much to say. It's really impossible to repay for what they've done.
A solemn day. It was a difficult day, really, for not only the York County community, I think for all of Susquehanna Valley and even beyond. Also a moving day, though, to see the support. When something like this happens, as terrible as it is, you really see the community rally together, and that is the silver lining today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And our coverage continues later at 6. We'll talk about Detective Baker's role with the Scouts. We'll also hear from a family of a police officer about why it was important for them to attend today's procession.
And taking a live look at the Storm Team Live Radar Network, we're watching some storms. The Storm Team forecast is 2 minutes away.
Now, the Alert Day forecast from the WGAL News 8 Storm Team.
We've been tracking that strong line of thunderstorms moving across the Susquehanna Valley, still impacting much of Lancaster County and York County, putting a damper right now on the Ephrata Fair, but conditions are improving. If you're watching us in Ephrata and in northern and northwestern Lancaster County, it's over central and southern and southeastern Lancaster County. We still have to keep our guard up. We have some very heavy rainfall from Holtwood to Quarryville, right there there towards Gap along Route 30 on the Chester County line. This line does extend into far southern portions of York County, but if you're watching us in York City to Red Line, we're starting to dry back out. So this intense line of thunderstorms impacting our eastern viewers for about another hour to go. Then we can sound the all clear out there across the Susquehanna Valley. So that line of thunderstorms should be to our east by 7 to 8 o'clock. It stays warm and muggy, may get some breaks in the clouds as we get closer to sunset across the Susquehanna Valley. It is going to be muggy through the night tonight, and if you did see heavy rainfall this afternoon and early this evening, you could see some patchy dense fog forming. Some of that fog will be out there first thing in the morning. Most of the valley will stay dry for our Friday, but some isolated showers will be possible during the afternoon, with highs once again back up near 80 degrees. We topped off at 80 at the airport in Middletown, and we got some soaking rain, more than 0.8 of an inch of rain out at the airport. Similar total there in McSherrystown in Adams County. Dover picking up about 0.6 of an inch of rain. Columbia and Lancaster County picking up just over 1/3 of an inch of rain. The rain's impacting the temperatures. 70 right now in Elizabethtown, but we're dry, back up to 78 if you're watching us in Chambersburg. A little bit cooler off to our west, and notice the dew points off to our west are starting to drop. These showers and thunderstorms formed out ahead of an incoming cold front that's working its way to the east. That front should push by as we go through the night tonight. So tomorrow's going to feel more comfortable out there as we see more sunshine, but thanks to some strong upper level energy, we'll see clouds bubble up and may see an isolated shower. Now, thanks to a storm system coming up from the south, we could see some spotty showers at times on Saturday. The best chance for those will be later in the afternoon through the evening hours and on into Saturday night. May see a few spotty showers at times on Sunday, and notice the temperature is still a little bit above average, topping off in the mid to upper 70s. Now, we are keeping a very close eye on this storm system that's now just to the east of Puerto Rico. A 90% chance it's going to develop in the next 7 days. So we could likely see what's called Imelda forming over the Bahamas and becoming a tropical storm. And it may interact with Humberto, which is just to the east of this storm. Both of these storms working their way towards the U.S. coastline. But it's this storm that's over Puerto Rico that could be close enough that could give us some light showers and more cloud cover on Tuesday. This is something we're watching very closely. Once we get past Tuesday, we're drying back out. More seasonable air moves on in, so that fall-like feel will be out there for the first few days of October, with highs back down closer to 70 degrees.
My dad, Detective Mark Baker, was courageous, fearless, kind, and compassionate, and he will always be remembered as a hero.
And that's Detective Baker's daughter speaking about her dad.
Yeah, in addition to being an officer, Baker was an Eagle Scout and served as a Cub Master and Assistant Scoutmaster.
News 8's Bailey Martin continues our live team coverage with more on Baker's time with the Scouts. Bailey.
Yeah, you guys said it best. Detective Mark Baker was very involved in the Scouts. That procession for those 3 fallen officers took off near the square in Red Lion today. And while I was out here to see that procession leave the funeral home and head to the church, people were lining the streets. And one group of people who I met was a troop of Boy Scouts who were here to honor all 3 officers. They were very involved with Detective Mark Baker.
Detective Baker was a scout leader with us.
Gina Cray and members of Troop 28 lined the streets in Red Lion. She says that she was in contact with Detective Baker and his troop often.
His service to not just the community, but to the youth in particular was outstanding. To be in scouting, to learn, to have fun, to respect others, and learn about being a good citizen. It was something he took very seriously.
Those young scouts holding the flags along the procession route to pay their respects to all 3 officers and Detective Baker as an Eagle Scout.
We just came out here to honor the fallen officers and show that we care. They keep it safe and they give their lives like they did to help protect others.
They say the impact Detective Baker had on this program will leave a deep legacy for generations.
He was there to help each and every one, and I think that will stay on with us for many years to come.
Detective Baker was part of Troop 67 for many years. They're actually holding a flag retirement ceremony for him this evening. That flag will never fly again and will be given to his family in his honor to remember all the work that he did for these young scouts here in York County. Live in Red Lion, Bailey Martin, WGAL News 8.
A hero and a role model. Bailey, thank you. And our coverage of the officer's funeral continues next at 6. We'll hear from a police officer's family who paid their respects on the parade route.
Detective Sergeant Cody Becker, Detective Mark Baker, and Detective Isaiah Emmenheiser were the best of the best that ever served at Northern York County Regional Police Department.
Continuing coverage of the funeral for the fallen York County officers.
News 8's A.J. Sisson was in the crowd of people who lined the procession route to show their support.
The roars of the motorcycles, the silence among the crowd, paying their respects.
I think it's easy to say that they don't always get the respect they deserve. Some people might consider it a thankless job.
Brendan Tanner was one of those, once aspiring to be a state police officer. Standing here, donning the Back the Blue American flag, watching the motorcade go by, standing silently. On one of those motorcycles, a father and a husband to two bystanders here, Tanner and Megan.
His father, my husband, is a police officer, so he's down there and we wanted to come support him.
Remembering the reason a community came together.
I'm so hurt for the families and that how lucky I am, but it breaks my heart that they're having to do this, and my heart's with them, and I'm just at a loss for words, honestly. So
If you see a police officer, even if you've had a negative interaction with them, it doesn't take a lot to say thank you for protecting us, thank you for keeping us safe, thank you for putting your life on the line every shift.
A.J. Sisson, News 8.
And you can see video of today's procession and funeral on WGAL.com. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Well, the race to the playoffs is on here in the Susquehanna Valley. Week 5 of high school football took center stage last Friday with standout plays all over the gridiron. With over 8,000 votes cast in this week's Play of the Week voting, the winner is Redlands' Anthony Plever. His 98-yard interception returned for a touchdown received 42% of the vote. It was a close one here. Plever and the Patriots went on to beat Northern York by 40. Redland, 5-0 to start the season, travels to face Mechanicsburg tomorrow night in a big conference matchup. And speaking of Friday night, the lights will be bright for the Susquehanna Valley tomorrow night. Week 6 Football Friday has it all. 14 game highlights from our area, including our game of the week, which is a huge York Adams battle. I'm expecting it to be standing room only between the Golden Knights and the Bulldogs. Plus, Jacob Hall talks with one former NFL player who has returned to his roots here in the Susquehanna Valley to mentor the next generation. You do not want to miss Football Friday tomorrow night on News 8 at 11. And also, don't forget, we have a pretty big game, Jerry Gish. Are you going to be able to sleep tomorrow night is the question.
I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to this game more than any regular season game in a long, long time.
The whiteout game, it's a tradition unlike any other. You heard me say there. 2 top 10 teams. The Oregon Ducks come into town, both unbeaten. And it is the Big Ten Conference opener. You have to remember that,
That's
too.
Right. That's true.
That one is going to be unreal.
Biggest game in the country this week. I'm jealous you'll be up there.
I'll be up there. And hey, but if you're not up there, you can watch on Channel 8. WGA will have that game at 7:30.
I'm planning my entire day around it.
Oh, I'm happy. Same, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. In a different way. All right. Hey, Bethany, thank you.
All right, and we've got more coming up next.
Then right after News 8 at 6.
Tonight, the disturbing notes left by the shooter who opened fire on an ICE facility. Officials calling his actions the very definition of terrorism. Also tonight, Amazon agreeing to pay $2.5 billion in a settlement. Can you cash in? Tonight on Nightly News.
Taking a look at live Local 8 radar, let's sound the all clear if you're watching us from York City, Lancaster City, and points off to the west and north. You are in the clear, but southeastern portions of York County, southern Lancaster County, still dealing with some heavy downpours and still the threat we could get an isolated, very strong wind gust as this line continues to work its way to the east. But I do expect during the next hour, this line exits the valley, will sound the all clear for the entire Susquehanna Valley by the time we get to 8 o'clock. It is going to be a muggy night tonight, warm with lows only in the mid 60s. Could see some isolated showers tomorrow afternoon. That's also the case for Saturday and Sunday. Just the chances for hit or miss light showers for the weekend. Temperatures back up to near 80 degrees for Monday.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching News 8 at 6. NBC Nightly News is up next.
Yeah, we leave you tonight with images from today's procession and funeral for the 3 fallen officers in York County.
Protect us all, but you don't know about this badge now, do you? Well, it stands for justice, hope and truth, and warning faith by those in blue who answer the angel.